The controversy between Ekubo and his fiancée, Acholonu, has been filled with a lot of stories. And the kind of lie people are lying on this topic is bigger than the lie Nigerian politicians are telling civilians. So I'm here to tell you how everything happened from beginning to the end. The allegation, counter-allegation, and most especially the main reason why they broke up. Ekubo and Acholonu started dating 5 years ago, and just like every new relationship, everything was rosy. When I say rosy, I mean it, except the fact that they were not knacking. So in May 2021, the two lovers decided to knack in a secret way by getting engaged, getting married, and then going for a honeymoon. Suddenly in August 2021, Fancy was like, how can I get married to someone who I've dated for 5 years without having sex with him? No be juju be that. What if he's impotent, or he doesn't do girls, or he doesn't like me? With a lot of what ifs, puzzles on her head, and without being sure on the best concrete reason, Fancy called off the wedding to the surprise of many, even her family members. Fans were like, shey you dey whine me after all the money spent on wedding preparation. So why did you call off the wedding? A lot of people asked. Because the reason she ended the wedding was too heavy for her to speak at the time. She swallowed it alongside with her pride and ended the wedding eventually. Well, according to what she wrote in her breakup statement, she was deceived in the relationship, and that is not a concrete reason, you know, and therefore ended it all with Alex so that everybody finds their happiness and live their truth. The media was like, live their truth. So because of the live their truth statement, everybody was like, I said it, this guy is gay. So people assumed that maybe she found out that Alex is truly gay, so she ended the marriage. However, after the marriage and the controversies that followed it and the gossip, both Nigerians and the lovers moved on with their life. That's the end of the story. What a sad ending. But no, it didn't end there. So in late 2022, Fancy could not take it anymore. She has missed the love of her life for so long and wanted him back. While on the other hand, Alex is doing well. He bought new house, bought new cars, and signed a lot of mouth-watering deals that lucky big girls are dying to have him. But unfortunately, he was alleged to be into the same gender. You see, the crazy thing about love is that when you're trying so hard not to love a person anymore, that's when you fall deeper and deeper in love. And I guess that was what brought Fancy back to Alex. So as emotional as Fancy was, she thought that the best way to get Alex back is to first clear the air about the gay rumors that her breakup statement triggered. Vroom! On Friday, July 29, 2022, Fancy released a statement via her Instagram page, and guess what she wrote? She wrote about what she meant by live your truth. According to Fancy, her statement at the time, live your truth, was misconstrued by bloggers, as many interpreted it to mean that she quit her relationship because the Nollywood actor is gay. She stated that though she has nothing against the LGBTQ+ community and supports everyone, which everyone like her who lives in abroad do, even if you don't want to. So Fancy insisted that in the over 5 years that she dated Alex, she found no reason to believe that he's gay. She added that she was only devastated and broken because of Alex's betrayal, which led to their breakup. You know Nigerians now, they still find a way to attach the gay rumors to this statement too. So they were like, if it's not about gay rumors, so what do you mean by Alex's betrayal, which led to their breakup? Everybody was like, what is this betrayal that this girl is talking about? Why others blamed her for coming out to clear what has been forgotten already? Well, the apology didn't end there because Alex felt that that apology wasn't good enough. So she released another apology note on the 29th December 2022, which burst the internet and turned their small fight into a WWE, where controversial Daddy Freeze and other bloggers became the judge and referee. Now let's talk about what is on the apology note. On the note, Acholonu publicly apologized to Ekubo on how she ended things with him, saying that just like the write-up on their t-shirt, nothing made sense without Alex. I have never heard that line before. This girl can toast. If I was Alex, I would have fallen for it, but I wasn't Alex. So barely 48 hours after the apology letter went viral, it turned out that even though Alex publicly acknowledged the apology, he bluntly refused to accept her back. He was like, so for your mind now, after disgracing me publicly, you want me to take you back? Nah, I don't roll that way. At this point, Alex broke the rule number 1, which is never humiliate a woman that is madly in love because she can do crazy things. So this provoked Acholonu that made her to expose more details about the role of Alex in their relationship. and what she actually went through while dating Alex. Without sugarcoating anything, this girl is mounted. At first, she started with the revelation that Alex manipulated her to post the apology note that went viral, thinking that she would get back to Alex and they will continue their relationship, without knowing that Alex was using it to get a bragging right to publicly humiliate her, adding that the Nollywood actor manipulated her for his ego. And I was like, don't you know that's how revenge works? Before we could know what was going on, Fancy unleashed her Obanji vibe and granted an interview where she revealed a lot. I mean, a lot of intimate information between her and Alex. Well, as you all know, I'm going to break all that she revealed one after the other. Plus, people from Alex's camp also brought some evidence to counter what Fancy said. This is going to be a long one, so grab yourself a popcorn and enjoy the gist. Like this video. The first Fancy Acholonu revelation that really went viral is that Alex didn't touch her sexually for the 5 years that they dated. Fancy stated that Alex didn't want to be with her intimately because it was against his religious faith. Even though Alex is a pastor, and what religious faith is he talking about? So this was confusing and difficult for Fancy to understand, especially for someone who is a bona fide member of an industry, that's Nollywood movie industry, which is widely known for using sex as a means of trade by barter. Fancy noted that one big red flag that led to their breakup was when Alex didn't want to sleep with her, but told her she could do it with other men. According to her, she found it strange that someone that claims to love her would suggest something like that. That was the moment she realized that he didn't truly love her. You know, Nigerians, they were like, maybe he was trying to make you get the sexual pleasure from someone because he was getting his own from another place. A place that he's not willing to talk about. You know what I mean? So she said that she can't really confirm or deny his sexuality. But for her, she loved him despite all, and he still find a way to break her heart. Now, to counter the claims that Fancy and Alex didn't have sex during the 5 years that they dated, Alex Ekubo's family member by the name Ekubo, in a chat note, revealed that Fancy was lying that they never had sex. She stated that the couple always had sex, to the point that the family told Alex to slow down before he gets her pregnant if they are not getting married.
Informer Ekubo is in the studio. Yes, I can. Welcome. Where are you joining us from?
I'm in Canada. I live in Canada, but right now I'm in the States.
Are you related to Alex Ekubo?
Yes. In fact, honestly...
How are you related?
Let's just leave that one. At least you can see my last name. I'm Ifeoma Ekubo, and honestly, family didn't want us to talk. Nobody wants to talk, but this is really, really getting out of hand. I am so emotional right now.
Okay,
because
calm
this
down.
Fancy girl, she spoke to me. Listen, Fancy spoke to me. Honestly, I am upset. I didn't want to talk. Alex, we decided to let God fight this battle for this boy because people have been calling him gay. This is a boy that everybody know that he is not gay. He's been sleeping with Fancy for God knows how long. Up until the 24th of December.
He's sleeping with Fancy
and slept with him. Why? Just because he doesn't want to take her back. Fancy, do you know how many times Fancy called me to beg Alex? I was one of the people that I was even fighting for Fancy. Alex said no, that this girl is crazy. We don't know Fancy. You don't know Fancy. When they did the engagement, Alex was in her house. They slept together that night. They've been sleeping together for God knows how long. In fact, even the first time when they broke up, that first time that Fancy went to break up with the engagement, when they made up again, they slept again. And this time around, when they slept, they are slept. So if they tell you that Fancy, as she is not having sex with Alex, you will believe Fancy. Even when that thing happened that first time, that Fancy went to Alex, we told Alex that don't try to sleep with this girl before you get her pregnant. If you know you're not ready.
However, Fancy spoke on the viral voice note from Alex's family member. Especially, they claimed that they had slept together in January 2022. According to Fancy, they broke up in August 2021. Alex's aunt reached out to her in 2022 to see Alex. And when they met, he apologized to her and for the first time made moves to be intimate with her. Fancy explained that even though she was shocked, but she gave in. But hey, when you're honey, you're honey. However, after they got intimate, Fancy noted that Alex started telling all his friends and family members that they had sex and even encouraged her to do the same. You see where this thing is going? Mind you, this was January last year after the controversial breakup rumor that says "Live your truth." According to Fancy, Alex seemed proud of having sex with her, as if he had completed a life mission, and she had to pretend that she enjoyed the sex when he asked how it was. Talking about enjoying the sex, Fancy also revealed that she wasn't the only woman that Alex had sex with that didn't enjoy it because of his poor sexual performances. She said that Alex cheated with her with one curvy woman who paid him to have sex with her, and the woman that he cheated on her with also complained and was so angry that Alex couldn't perform and also questioned his sexuality. According to Fancy, she caught him cheating on her with a curvy foreign woman when the woman reached out to Fancy. On Instagram with the screenshot of their chat, Fancy stated that the woman even offered to pay Alex money to sleep with her. They spent the weekend in a hotel and she was so angry that Alex couldn't perform. So she found about Alex and Fancy's relationship on Instagram and then sent Fancy the screenshot of her conversation with Alex on Instagram, where she called him name and also questioned his sexuality. The funny thing is that this revelation is going somewhere, but it doesn't seem that it's going somewhere. But then let's continue with the revelation. Now, in the interview, Fancy Acholonu also addressed a leaked chat that trended online, claiming that Alex wanted her to bear the cost of their wedding. She admitted that everything on the leaked chat was true, that Alex was so focused on doing a fancy wedding that she was to pay for. Alex, who just splashed like millions of naira on a new mansion and also a new car in 2022. However, in the leaked chat, Fancy revealed wanting a small wedding, but Alex, despite the fact that he wanted Fancy to bear the cost of the wedding, wanted a very lavish wedding, a wedding that could shut down the whole of Lagos. On the contrary to what Fancy said on Alex wanting her to bear the cost of the wedding, someone from Alex's camp did a live video where she showed a receipt evidence that Alex has already made a down payment for the wedding venue, the food vendor, the hotels for the wedding, and other things.
There's this narrative that's been pushed, I think, by Fancy that, one of the issues they had was the fact that he wanted to spend so much on a wedding. Fancy was the one that was going to fund the wedding, and bring money for the wedding. So now I have receipts of the payments that was made to Monarch, which was the venue that they were going to use for their wedding, which is this white, prestigious venue that is around Elegushi, or right before you get to Lekki, not far from your house at the freeze. So that venue was already booked. The price for the wedding was 6.5 million. That's how much it is. And I have the receipts here. And you can see that the money was paid from Alex Ekubo's account into the Monarch's account. Now, let me show you guys that receipt. Here you can see transfer from Ikena Alex Ekubo, the Monarch Event Services Limited from Access Bank, transfer successful for the wedding, right? And that is the venue that Fancy wanted. Fancy actually chose that venue herself. She says she loves it, and that's where she wants to have her dream wedding. So Alex made sure that he got that venue locked down for her. So that is one. Then I also have the receipt for the food vendor. Okay. So the total amount for the money for the food that we're going to pay for the wedding was about 4.5 million. And I have a screenshot of the conversation where the vendor is explaining the list of services they are going to render. Alex wanted to pay for the whole 4.5 million. So this was all being booked like 5 months before the wedding, right? So the vendor said that, look, I don't want you to pay this 4.5 million into my account now. The wedding is still about 5 months away. All you need to do is pay a deposit. So a deposit of 500,000 naira was paid to the account for the food. I have that receipt as well. I'll be posting all of it. Then we also have the receipts for Eko Hotel. So this was the plan for the wedding. The plan was a day before the wedding, Fancy's bridesmaid and Alex's groomsmen were going to come to Eko Hotel, and they're going to dress up and take videos and pictures like they do in normal weddings. So it was paid for 2 days. There's a separate suite that was paid for again for the bride and the groom for 7 days. I think totaling about over 2 million. I have the receipts for that. This guy paid for these things 5 months before the wedding was even supposed to take place.
a lot of people are raising the speculation that what if Fancy paid into Alex's account?
Then
Alex
Fancy needs
now
to.
paid.
Okay. Then if that's the case, Fancy needs to bring a receipt showing, because right now I can see the dates that the money was paid into the vendor's account, right? And that date tallies with the conversations between the vendor and the person that is paying for their services. So now what we need to see is a receipt of Fancy paying these money to Alex's accounts. But if we can't provide that receipt, we're going to go with the evidence right in front of our face. Because if this is a court of law, this is all admissible.
Fancy insisted that Alex knew about her public apology post before she even shared it online because he co-wrote it. According to her, he was trying to get revenge, but she did not realize on time. She said that when they were writing the apology post, he was telling her how much he loved her and how he needed this apology post so that they can move forward. But deep down, he wanted her to feel the pain of being trolled and bullied. He wanted revenge on her for leaving him publicly. According to Fancy, it was an ego feast. Once she clicked the share button, the scale fell off her eyes on what he was up to. Fancy also added that he later on commented on the apology post, which we all saw, but she didn't even see it until it hit the blogs. It was a comment as if he didn't write up the apology himself. He even chose the picture for her to post with the apology. That moment for her, the trauma bond was broken. Control was gone and she finally saw Alex for who he really was. However, there was an audio from Alex's camp where Alex and Fancy were arguing on what he should comment on the apology post. In the audio, Alex also told Fancy that the apology wasn't a guarantee that they would be back together. Okay, let me just play you the audio.
You said there's so much happening and there are too many people fighting on our behalf, and let me just categorically say, I got upset from you not asking for a response, from you saying, oh, my family and friends are asking, and that triggered me. That was what led me to, being upset and saying, and I asked you categorically, I said, when we've been having these conversations back and forth, did I promise any acknowledgement to the post? You said no. Just the same way I've said from the beginning, this is not a post to guarantee that we're going back in a relationship. But if we want to talk and be cordial to each other, this is a first step to righting a wrong. I've had time to think about it and said, if Fancy does this post, what am I going to write? What am I going to say? And even after this call, I took time to breathe. After you calling, I took time to breathe and even ask myself, what do I really want to say right now in this heightened tension of everywhere that would not turn this again into another roller coaster? Because you know that you and I are not there. We are not in a relationship. We're not back in a relationship to say, oh, I'm coming to say I still love you too, Fancy, or let us take this back. Because that would be a clear position of, okay, this is what we're doing, to hell with anybody. Now, anything lukewarm, is that I'm saying that there are three answers in this. Let's get this right. Is that you're coming to say, oh, I love you too, Alex forever. And that is the position. But between me, you, and God, we know that we're not there. So that is not the truth. Now, is either I come out to bash you, obviously, which would never happen from my side. That is another response. Now, the third one would be a lukewarm answer that is neither here nor there. Which is why when you told me, I said, okay, you tell me what you want me to write or how you want me to acknowledge. The third one would be a lukewarm answer, which will be taken again out of context and respond into various things that we don't even need right now. It's like me saying, oh, it's okay, it is well. Something as harmless as that, and they begin to go with, oh, what is well? What is it's okay. After your post, I called you twice. I said, I appreciate you for what you did. It doesn't have to end this way. It doesn't have to be this way. We don't need to have that fight. Personally, I think like I have always been. Just maintain a silence. If I respond on this, it's going to be heightened times 24, and you know that. Let us maintain our thing and continue our communication in private and how we are healing. What you did was necessary for the action that was taken at the time. And I'm really saying this from a place of I really, really don't want us to keep going back and having all these quarrels. No, you will always be my friend. This is moving forward. I'm a very careful person. This is not about looking cool or sounding cool. When it was the bad one that was said, I also did not say anything. And so you don't look as if, oh, now I've said it, I've told myself under the boss. I know it looks a type of, you might be feeling a type of way, or people coming to, the comments are everywhere. I'm seeing it. But people are also giving you credence and saying, you're a good person for coming to apologize. Nobody have ever apologized and people have killed the person for apologizing. I stole from you, for instance. I am sorry. I have acknowledged. If you want to now arrest me, it's a different ballgame. So just the comments are a lot, is dragging here and there. Wither your storm, just stay through it, stay calm. This too shall pass. There's nothing, it's like da, 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 da. I really don't want to fan the fire. The only reason why this had to happen was because it was important. It needed to happen. So,
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to say it very clear because I can't lie on you. It needed to happen and you needed this. Okay? And it's okay because between you, I, Iffy, and many people they have told, we know the core. You gave me 3 examples and none of them, as far as say we're back or we're this or we're that, silent treatment will never be the way, especially when we did this together.
Fancy, I just asked you a question. I said, okay, what do you want me to write? Hold on.
Well,
I asked you that.
Let me answer because I called
and you told me, hold on now. You told me you would get back to me. You took over 30 minutes or so and you called me back again to say that there's nothing you have to say.
What? Okay, I told you I'll call you back. No matter what has been posted today, yesterday, literally, no response is the worst thing.
Fancy, what would you want me to say?
Hold on, let me finish. Don't get reactive. If you don't agree, it's me react. If I did this, woke up one day on my own and did it, I get it. But in anybody that has any kind of empathy in this will not tell me, you do this. And if I say this, people might say this, as if we're not already there. Your silence on this will not be something I feel. Nobody else, you and me, is the right thing to do. I don't even care if it's an emoji that says, God is good, we should all be, and we never speak again. I will not tell you what to write because I'm not going to tell you how to make things right. No. Because then you feel maybe the way I'm slightly feeling right now. I'm telling you that I wouldn't do all this. Someone does this all for me. I'm living in Australia. This all happened. My ex, this. Ain't no way tomorrow I'm going to start posting my adverts and not acknowledge someone knowing what we've been through this entire year together behind the scenes. That would not be okay. But you're a human being. You can do whatever you want. At the end of the day, I wouldn't do that. If we're basing off my year, what I did before, and you haven't let those go, you haven't seen my actions, what I've done, me coming here, me posting it, if you don't feel it genuinely because you say you forgive or whatnot, to me, to say absolutely nothing in the next, as soon as possible, is a clear indication of something I need to think about in my soul and bury it. And that's what I have to say. I would not have any expectation if I did this and woke up on myself and did it. On this one, Alex, you cannot tell me. I know you think of Alex first. Don't be offended. It's just what it's showing. It is what it is. But this partnership we did, even if we're doing it as coworkers or homies, you leaving me hanging and staying quiet, you cannot tell me it's because you don't want things to get worse. It's already bad. And you know it. You're in your mind, you're still thinking, well, you did this to me. That means all this then still did nothing to help as you felt it would, because you're still thinking of, feel it. Welcome to the club. That was my fear, and it's come to fruition. I'm going to stay quiet because I've said enough. I've done enough. I have all the calls. You have it too. But at the end of the day, let's not be silly. You know what's more positive on your side and bad on me. I've apologized several times and still not even come out to say why I ended or what. I didn't blast. I didn't open my mouth. I made one mistake. And because we still had love for each other, we're still here a year later. And I came here to work this out with you. You have to live with. That's why you and I are struggling to move on. Because you know it wasn't toxic. You just know that mistakes were made. That's it.
Stop that. I just want to ask a question.
Did you hear that?
Did she say that wasn't toxic? Did I hear that correct?
She said the relationship wasn't toxic. You can just acknowledge that mistakes were made. You know. That's what she said.
Oh, okay. So she said, okay.
If you want to know about Nollywood actors and actresses' marital status, I have made a video on that. You can check it in this video. This video contains the marital status of Nollywood actresses. Click on this video to watch it before this video ends, because if this very video ends, it will go away.